You're welcome to the School Owners Forum, Nigeria's largest trading network of school owners, of teachers, of education stakeholders generally. And this is our usual program, Unlock, with me, David Adeniji. I'm glad that it's a new season and a lot of things happened within the break. One of the things that happened between the last series and this series, the last series we held it for, we ran it for a whole year, and so this is another series, but we are continuing the Unlock program. Look at it. We have a new book titled Unlock. How to unlock your school's income potentials. And so that brings our library of materials to 5. We now have 5 books in that library: For the School Growth Strategy, The Indispensable Teacher, Thrive, Unlock, and then Fresh Strategies for Running Your School Free of Debtors. I'd like you to sit back and relax. Welcome, everyone. As you are joining into the class, one thing I want you to do for me, let me know where you are following from. Let me know your name or the school you represent or the organization. We know we have a couple of people in the house, associations of schools, consultants, companies. A lot of people join this program every week that we have it. Thank you very much. Once again, this is the School Owners Forum, Nigeria's largest trading network of school owners, of teachers, of education stakeholders generally. Let me know where you are following from. I'd like you to like and share and comment. So do 3 things right now. If you are watching from YouTube, subscribe, click the subscribe button and click the bell button. And if you are watching on Facebook, I'd like you to click the like button, share this video to your profile, and drop me a comment. The comment I want you to drop for me right now is let me know where you are following from. Let me know the name of your school or your organization. And I'd like to quickly go on a short break while we invite everybody who is supposed to be in the class into the class. Of course, I'm seeing you already. Thank you very much. Thank you. So let's go for this short break, and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back to class. We're going to be going on a wonderful topic this day. This particular topic, it's been on my mind, it's burning. We had a particular class like that. Thousands of people watched it, and the class was titled, what exactly are the things you must do in the very first week of resumption? And one of the points I raised there, I really harped on the issue of customer satisfaction, parent satisfaction. We're going to make a point here today in class that parent satisfaction is the biggest strategy for school growth. It works like medicine. So let me share you my screen so you see what we want to do today. Okay, this is my screen, and I'm glad, always glad to prepare this. It's been prepared, and we believe we're going to have a good time today. How exactly? So the question now people started asking, David, how exactly do I satisfy my parents? Are parents can you satisfy customers? Some people say that customers want, or of course, the rule in economics that human beings, their wants, their needs are insatiable. I understand, but you know that when you are in business, when you're in a business relationship, one of the reasons why you enter that relationship is to be of benefit to each party. So I'm paying you, then you're rendering that service. I must be satisfied with the payment I made, with the service you are rendering. So we should understand that it's a mutual relationship. So let's go very quickly into that class. How exactly do I satisfy my parents? So I'm not going to waste time. Introduction. You cannot satisfy every customer. We know. People were tackling me online. They said that, David, how do you think you can satisfy everyone? You cannot satisfy everyone. I know. But why should we even enter a business relationship when you know you are not ready? For many of us, the willingness is what is not there. The willingness sometimes is not there on the part of a parent to satisfy you with payment that you have both agreed to pay. the willingness may not also be there 100% on your part, on the part of the seller. Look at it. You cannot satisfy the customer, but business is a relationship between the buyer and the seller. So business is a relationship between the buyer and the seller. So that you must establish. So why should you initiate that relationship in the first place if you won't be able, or if you have not made provision to be able to satisfy the other party? I'm going to take it from the scratch. I'm going to build a foundation towards this, because the question is, how exactly do I satisfy my parents? Some people will say, well, you cannot satisfy this parent. No. I'm not saying that there's any absolute answer to this, but you see, I'm going to build a foundation today, and then I'll perfect it in the next class next week. How exactly do I satisfy my parents? So take a look at this. I've been sharing my screen. Let me share the screen again so you see it very clearly. How exactly should I satisfy? Do I satisfy my parents? Okay, take a look at my slide once again. How exactly do I satisfy my parents? Okay, so this is it. Okay, so the question is, let's go, let's go like that into the class. Okay, sorry, my slide is here. I'm going to share it again. Don't worry. I'll share it again. Okay, let me just open it up so you see it very, very clearly. Okay. Okay, so that's a slide there for you. Let's jump right in. So I had made this point. One of the things you should do, one of the first things you should do in this relationship that you are into, is to establish the terms of your relationship and educate them before enrollment. You should be ready to honor whatever you both agreed at all costs. You should not be quick to tag the other party as, oh, they are the ones defaulting. School owners believe that parents default in payment. But you see, parents also believe that school owners default in delivery. How about the point where you are also defaulting in delivery? You know, it is easy to tell someone that, oh, this person is owing me money. People will say, how much? So you can quote how much. But it's not easy to specify how much of service you are defaulting. So if a parent believes you are defaulting in the terms of your service, people will say, how much? You know, you can't quantify that. That is why it's easy to tag a parent as a defaulter. What if the parent also tags you as a defaulter? What if you are defaulting? We can't measure it. The only way to measure it is with the children. But sometimes it doesn't have clear-cut measuring standard like we have money, that you can measure the amount of money someone is owing you. Do you understand? So you must establish the terms of your relationship. That's clear. We always say that. And you should educate them before enrollment about those terms. But then most importantly, both of you should be ready to honor that agreement at all costs. So I'm going to be showing you one other thing. The question there is, I have said that you should establish the terms of relationship and educate them before enrollment, and that you should be ready to honor it at all costs. But then, many times we call these policies. You call these policies, right? But the word policy, that word has been so overused in this market that many of us do not even know what it means. So I won't be calling it policies in this class or document at all. I'm calling it a personal, one-on-one, heart-to-heart orientation between the school owner and the parent. It may appear as if we have been saying this over and over again, but it's a good way to start the season. You understand? You know, heart-to-heart orientation between the school owner and the parent before you collect money, before you even collect money from them. So before you collect money from them, there should be a one-on-one, heart-to-heart orientation, discussion about the terms of that engagement, what you expect from them and what they expect from you. Let them give you targets. You know, they brought children to you. They brought, 2, 3, 4. There should be targets. and then you should also promise what you can deliver. No, Matt. This target, we can't meet it within this very short time, but we can do this. No problem. Heart to heart, one-on-one discussion about the terms of that relationship, about what both of you expect from that relationship. Do you understand? So you must understand, both of you must understand what you are ready to deliver, what you want to deliver to the other party. But that's the first thing. That's the first. See, when you say customer satisfaction, you can only satisfy someone to the extent that they expect. There should be an expectation. Over expectation is where that's where the problem comes from. When someone is expecting you to deliver more than you are obligated to deliver, that's where you now say the other party is not satisfied. There's no such thing as dissatisfaction if we both agree that this is what we want to deliver to ourselves and we both work towards it. The moment we didn't set any clear-cut boundaries, we didn't set clear-cut targets as to what and what should be the performance indicators of this relationship, that's where you now say the other party is defaulting. You understand? So many times I see school owners rush into signing a deal. We rush into enrollment. We rush into agreement without carefully assessing the relationship, the children they brought to you. You know, there should be something there should be a yardstick to measure whether you are failing or succeeding, whether you are achieving, fulfilling the terms of that engagement. So I'm saying that this should come from a personal, one-on-one, heart-to-heart orientation between the school owner and parent. You know, at this point in time, let me just announce to you that it's a new season. Some of us need to come down from our estate. I know you have built a big school, and I know you want to sit back and say, well, the school is large, I can enjoy. But when things are not working out, perhaps you need to come down and begin to do the things you had been doing before that got the school to the peak. The things you have been doing before that got the school to the El Dorado that it was before. You started noticing some things, or that got the school that made you kick off. You know, many of us, we were with the school when it started, when it grew, when it was small. As time began, as it began to grow, we started withdrawing, which is normal. But then you now begin to notice that your withdrawal is not, you are withdrawing, but you are not getting the right person to fit into your shoes to carry on your legacy the exact way you have been doing it. Then maybe that means it's time for you to retreat again and then re-strategize. Let's go on in this beautiful class. The next thing is, before I go on, there's something I want to tell you. Let me show you this. You know, I'd like you to understand that just like I announced in the beginning, we now have a library of 5 books. Please take a look at it.
Wow, we now have 5 books in our library. The 4-legged school growth strategy, that's the mother of all books on school growth. You have the indispensable teacher, you have Thrive, and then you have Unlock. But then you also now have the 5th one, fresh strategies for running your school free of debtors. Which one would you want to go for? Why not go for the whole library? Well, you can have it in different packages. The combo pack still remains, but now the combo pack consists of the 4-legged school growth strategy, the indispensable teacher, and fresh strategies for running your school free of debtors. That's a 4-hour online course which you cannot miss. You can also have the super pack. That's another package. The super pack consists of Thrive and Unlock. But why break it down when you can simply get the whole library? I'd like you to order these books right now. We will deliver them to you anywhere you are. Get the books now.
It consists of 5 wonderful books right now. 5 books. I think that's awesome. We are growing. As at the last season, as our last year, it was just 3 books in that library, but 2, there's an additional 2 materials, 2 wonderful books. So you can just get the whole library. People are buying the whole library. I like you to know that everything I talk about in this class are just tidbits from here and there. I just pick it. I prepare these materials, prepare for this class by consulting the books. Look at them. They are here. Imagine having a whole library or a whole SOF library. So you have this. I cannot show you. So people are getting, look at this one, very big book like that. And then the indispensable teacher, and the 4-hour online class talking about fresh strategies for running your school free of debtors. Let me continue in this class. I'm not going to waste time at all. What am I trying to say? I'm saying here that I think we need to get honest with ourselves. I'll be sincere with you. Many of us are already neglecting this moment, that moment of heart-to-heart, one-on-one discussion with your parents before. Don't rush into signing, collecting money. Oh, alert, send the money. Yeah, don't rush into that, because what's the essence of the money you collect now? Then you're going to have headaches in future. Headaches concerning the service that you both did not agree. You both did not set the terms, the expectation. You know, there's something they say unmet expectation is what leads to frustration. Parents' dissatisfaction basically arises from unmet expectation. Many times, expectations that you both did not agree on. You understand? Many of us neglect that moment of heart to heart, that agreement just before money is paid for the first time. A lot of assumptions are made, and the parent simply thinks it's business as usual. Assumptions. You know, you quoted in your policy that school fees should be paid before resumption. But you see, the parent, because they are not taking that serious, they look at it and they just nod their heads in their minds, you know, and they say, well, thinking, well, let me see if they will reject my half payment when I bring it. You know, sometimes people think they can just throw money at you. You must learn to say no. Sometimes you must learn to reject monies that will bring you headache. I like to look at it this way. I sell many things, I do many things. But when I'm negotiating with a customer and I notice that here, he wants to rush into paying me money that will not be commensurate with the service I want to render, or money that I will collect that I'll begin to regret that why did I even collect this? I just pause and say, wait, man, you must always learn that money is not everything. When you collect money, you are bound to deliver. So why should you collect money from someone when you have not both discussed, decided, and concluded on the expectation of each party? Let it be clear. Excuse me, this child will be able to achieve this by the end of this time, but will not be able to achieve this. Oh, this child, we need to work on him. You know, I think we need to work on his math, or we need to work on his diction, or we need to work on his cognition. We'll be able to achieve it. So when, if they don't see those improvements, maybe in one term you say, well, I told you, we have concluded, we have discussed on what you should expect at so particular time. That's what we'll call expectation. You are setting the expectations right. Okay, what else do we have here? Let's still be honest. You know, I have talked about the parent. You quote school fee to the parent, but you see, in their minds, they just say, well, let me transfer money. Let me see if they will return my money at the moment I have paid. They are not being sincere with that discussion. How about you, the other party? Sometimes the school also falls into this trap. Likewise, the parent believes in his heart that the children will be taught certain things, but even the school owner nods it in his mind, thinking, oh, look at this parent. Your child is lagging behind others in the class. You have insisted we fixed him in a certain class. Well, we will only do our best. You see, this statement that, well, man, we will do our best. I know you will do it, but God help us. I know God will help you. You see, whether you do your best or you don't do your best, God is a helper. He will help you. God will help you to the extent that you both iron out the gray areas of the contract. It's a contract. Many of us do not see that relation. You will see it as family. Yes, school is family. We see it as a relationship. Yes, it's a relationship. We see it as, well, we are having a nice time. We are imparting the leaders of tomorrow, giving them an enviable future. Well, I once heard one school have that. Maybe, who knows, maybe they picked it from me here. But it's also a contract. You must set out the terms of that engagement. So what do I have to say? Now, you notice that at this point, neither of the parties, neither the school owner believes, well, I'm going to try my best. The parent believes, well, let me just give you money and see if you will not do the work. You know, at that point, neither of the parties have the conviction in their hearts to honor the rules of engagement. Somebody say, is it not school business? Why are you taking it so serious? Why will I not take it so serious? You know what kind of problems we have created in this industry because we have not set the right expectations for our parents. They begin to complain about us. It touches us. It comes to us. Those words come back. They begin to complain about you. You begin to complain about the parent. They are defaulting in payment. They are defaulting in payment. You say parents are defaulting in payment. How about you? Are you also not defaulting in service? You can measure the amount of default they default. You can measure the amount of money they default in, but they cannot measure. It's not measurable. It's not tangible, but it's there. It's what we call dissatisfaction. That is, so if you can cure that, if you can change that, correct that, and get them satisfied. And I'm now saying that you cannot satisfy anyone 100%, but you can satisfy anyone to the extent that you meet the expectations of the contract agreement between you. Listen to that again. You may not be able to satisfy anyone 100% or a customer 100%, but you can satisfy a customer to the extent of the expectation. That's why it's good to set expectations in the beginning of the engagement. So this is the beginning of the new year. This is the beginning of the new season. What are your expectations? What are your parents' expectations regarding the children that they have, regarding whatever business you are transacting together? These principles will work for any business anyway. Let's continue in this wonderful class. All right. So the big question then is, what is the root cause of dissatisfaction in customers? We need to solve that before we can satisfy them, right? So what I want to do in this class is to identify the root causes of dissatisfaction in any business transaction, the root cause of dissatisfaction. And then we are going to, when we identify the causes of that dissatisfaction and then we deal with it, then that's when we can proceed to say we want to satisfy a customer, a parent. Now, did you get that? I have made a point. I have said that you may not be able to satisfy anyone 100%, but you can satisfy them to the extent, you understand, that to the extent of the expectation that you meet the expectations of the agreement, of the contract agreement between you. I'd like you to drop something on chat. Say expectation. Say meet expectation. Now, type. Let me begin to type. All over the nation, all over the world, begin to type in the chat box. Say expectation. Meeting expectation. So it's not about really satisfying anyone 100%. You cannot satisfy anyone 100%. But what are the expectations of the agreement? What are the expectations? Do you know the expectation of a parent concerning the children or concerning whatever business you are transacting together? Does the parent know your expectation, or you just assume that they are good people? There is no good or bad people in business. It is your business principles and policies that tag the other party good. Many of us have lost good relationships because we did not set expectations in our contract. And I'm talking widely right now, maybe even regarding any other kind of business you are doing. Many of us have become enemies unnecessarily. You say that person is a bad man, he's a bad woman. No one is really a bad or good person in business. Of course, our personal characters and behaviors manifest in our transactions, in our day-to-day living. But hey, if you set the right expectation, say, hey, sorry, please, I will not be able to deliver this, but I will be able to deliver this. Concerning parent-school owner relationship, well, school owner will say, sorry, I will not be able to deliver this much on this child this term. But I can assure you that before the end of the session, we will be able to see. And don't just say it with your mouth. Don't just let it be word of mouth. As you are saying it, you are noting it. You are deploying the right personnel, the right staff, the right equipment. You are even maybe going for some training to be able to deliver on that which you have agreed. I want us to take relationships serious. No one needs to tag anyone as a debtor or as a defaulter. Parents will not need to tag you as a defaulter. You are also defaulting in service, in delivery. And you will not need to tag a parent as defaulter. They are defaulting money. If you set the right expectations to be met in the beginning of the relationship. I hope you are getting this point. I'm enjoying myself as usual. Welcome to class. If you are just joining in, this is the School Owners Forum, Nigeria's largest training network of school owners, of teachers, of education stakeholders, of everyone generally. And I'm David. Adeniji, by the grace of God, convener of the School Owners Forum. If you are just joining in, let me know where you are following from. Let me know your name, the name of your school or organization, if it's a school, a consulting firm, association of school owners, you're welcome, or maybe a government agency somewhere. Thank you very much. Let me know the state, the country, the town where you are following from. And then also, I'd like you to drop a comment. That's a comment I want you to drop. If you're on Facebook, like the video and share it. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. Click that subscribe button and then click the bell button so that you get new videos as we release them. I'd like to go again on a very short break. Now, after this break, we're going to be back. Let me talk about something wonderful that happened again during the break. We have a new program called SOF Equip. It's a 5-month program that transfers 14 years of content to you. Now, you have all we have been teaching in one program. 20 modules for 20 weeks. Who says your school will not transform? You become not just a certified school owner, but you can also become a certified school growth consultant. So we want to raise several people. I get calls from all over the nation, from everywhere. Sometimes we can't fly to everywhere to teach, but we want to raise people, consultants who can also, reach people at their various levels. And this program is what will transfer. You will not only be able to grow your school, but you become a consultant. Look at this.
SOF Equip is a 5-month program that aims to certify school owners and school growth consultants by transferring all of the years of competence, all of the content that we have dished out on our platform for over a decade to solve specific problems regarding school business. So why should you wait when you can get all that we can teach, all that we have been teaching at once? You can get them. We are ready to transfer competence to you. Why not enroll in this program? 20 modules, that is 20 weeks. It's flexible. The payment is also flexible. SOF Equip is here. We are sharing our audience with you in case you also want to become a school growth consultant and you want to sell your ideas to school owners, to educators, education community all across. So I'd like you to enroll right now today for SOF Equip.
All right, you just heard it right there. Enroll for SOF Equip. It's a 5-month program, 20 weeks, 20 modules. We have students in class already waiting. We kickstarted it at the end of the last year, and then we continue right now. Well, it comes at a small cost that is affordable, but then you'll be able to spread the payment across those 5 months. You don't want to miss that. You may not be satisfied with this tidbit and bit here and there that we share. If you just want the full package, why not enroll for SOF Equip? You want to join that class? Here's our phone number at the bottom left of the screen. You can just hit us or just chat us up. We're going to give you the full details. Okay, let's continue this class. How exactly do I satisfy my parent? I hope you remember that I've been telling you that the books are now 5. That's a library over there. It consists of Unlock, 4-legged school growth strategy, the indispensable teacher, fresh strategies for running your school free of debtors, and then Thrive. And this one is our training for teachers that you can have physical, virtual, or recorded training. Whichever one you want, let us come and work. Let us then help her out in empowering your teachers. Let me continue in this class because I'm excited about the class already. Okay, so let's go on. What am I saying now? I'm making some point. Let me see where I am. I am now trying to say something here. I said that what exactly is the root cause of dissatisfaction in customers? We need to solve that before we can say we want to satisfy them. So this is it. That's the answer. This is the question. What is the root cause of dissatisfaction in customers? Because we need to solve it. And this is the answer. Unmet expectations lead to dissatisfaction. So resolve all unmet expectations. I have told you in the beginning that you should set expectations in the first place. So I'm now continuing that if you are able to meet those expectations, then you satisfy them. If you didn't establish rules of engagement in a relationship and make the other party fully aware of it, there is bound to be unmet expectations in the relationship. And unmet expectations lead to frustration. Unmet expectation will do what? Will lead to frustration because you did not do what did I say there? You did not set, there's bound to be unmet expectations in the relationship. So, and even where you have established those rules of engagement, but you were not meticulous to secure the other party's complete agreement before initiating the contract, there's still going to be problems anyway. You understand? So it is one thing to set the expectations, to set the rules of engagement. It's another thing to get the other party's consent. I'm not saying writing. Some people say, well, they signed. You see all these things that people sign when they want to enter agreement. Sometimes they don't look at it, especially when the money involved is not big. It is when people are transacting in millions and billions that they get lawyers to begin to read through the papers and all that. But for school fees, just some small amount of money, people don't read too much. When you send them forms and put those words in tiny lines, you call it the policy, and they don't read it. But when you invite them heart to heart, one-on-one discussion, you are going to communicate, and you're going to be meticulous enough to secure the other party's complete agreement before initiating the contract. Don't say it's getting too much. So parents are not unreasonable. Parents are not unreasonable. Unmet expectations are the causes of dissatisfaction. The first way to solve this problem is to find out and fix those unmet expectations. So now you notice that at this point, neither of the parties have the conviction in their hearts to honor the rules of engagement. So you need to find out what exactly are those unmet expectations in the heart of your parents. So the question is, there's a quick solution here. Now, solution number one. Are you here with your pen? Are you with your paper? Are you writing? This week, when you get back to school, ask each parent the following questions. What are your expectations about our school that have not been met? In what ways are you disappointed? Stop asking parents to give you good feedback only. Ask them, in what ways are you disappointed? You have to be careful about this because there's competition. In what ways are you disappointed? I'm not even particular about the competition as I am about the happiness, the satisfaction, because many parents are not satisfied with you and they won't leave you. They will be grumbling, but they won't leave you. You know why? Because when compared with other schools, your school still stands out. Even though you are not satisfying them enough, yet they won't leave you, but they will be grumbling. And the reason they are staying is that when compared with other schools around, you still have something that is better than them. But that doesn't mean you are doing it well. You'll be finding because to collect the little that you deserve from them. And even when they pay, they will still, when a parent is not happy, you will know. You will know. And see, the worst thing you want to have in your business is a dissatisfied customer. It is cancerous. So look at this. Ask your parents, in what ways are you disappointed about me, or about the teachers, or about our classrooms, or about our drivers, or about the cleaners, or about the school bus, or about the school generally, or about anything? In what ways are you disappointed? In what ways? Some people will say, well, I'm not disappointed in anything. Don't accept that. Or in what ways are you not satisfied? That may be too strong a word. You may say, well, I'm not disappointed. But in what ways? I like you to be serious with it. Get down to it. Let them give you those negative feedbacks. Let them give you, because especially when you know that they are not satisfied. When sometimes you can easily know that a parent is not satisfied. You can ask, find out. There's an unmet expectation somewhere. Sometimes they cannot really lay their hands on it immediately. Sometimes it is about the academics. Somebody was telling me that our school number is dropping, even though our academics is the best. I said, no. Look here. Academics is not the only thing that makes a school stand out or maybe grow in number. What of expectation? Unmet expectation can make you lose parents faster than poor academic quality or excellence. So, what are we trying to say here? Let me continue very quickly. I got a lot to cover. Then the question now arises here. What is the biggest strategy for school growth? Look at that cow. What is the biggest strategy? Simple. Parent satisfaction is the biggest strategy for school growth. So if you are looking for a consultant to grow your school and you don't have money to pay the consultant, you can start the consultation within yourself. You can say, well, am I satisfying my parent? In my new book, Unlock, I just show you the new book, Unlock. This is that new book here. And I told you that even this class, there are tidbits from each of these books. You really want to get the full package, get the whole library. Get the whole library. How much? It's cheap. Get the whole library. But look at Unlock. It's a book that just came out. And then while reading, somebody read that book and then asked me a question, which I'm going to use as case study in this class. Unlock. I taught in that book that parent satisfaction is the biggest recipe for school growth, that it is like a medicine that cures all forms of cash flow challenges and you may be having in your business. And then went on to explain how to go about that in two chapters of that book. So somebody picked the book and asked me a question during one of our lectures, just like this one. He said, okay, thank you, sir. In a situation where you have only 10% of your parents following their words to school, how can one get to know what they really want in order to satisfy them? This problem is that, okay, you call PTA meeting, nobody shows up. Only a few mummies or a few mothers show up. The daddies don't even show up, even though they are the ones calling the shots, the ones making the payment. So what happens when they don't even show up? You don't see them, or your school is an elite school or a school where it's so large, only drivers come to drop them. I then answered and said, you always have a way of reaching them. No how. When they wanted to enroll, they reached you. There's always a way of reaching them. Okay, oh yeah, let me remind you of the SFQ class. All right, we're going to the SFQ class. Is a wonderful bumper class. That's a master class. Then this is my response. You have their phone numbers. You can reach them somehow. Call them one-on-one. Chat them. You can even schedule a personal visit with some of them. Nothing should be a barrier. If you care to satisfy a parent at all costs, I tell you, the parent will know and open up their hearts to you. It is if you don't care. If you care to satisfy someone, you will. You will go the extra mile. You will satisfy them. Somehow you will. So that was my response, but it didn't end there. Look at this. Okay. Oh, I didn't write this. Your school may be your property. You own the property, but you don't own the entity. Some of you think, yeah, it's my business. It is your property. It may be your business, but you don't own the entity. Business is an entity. There are stakeholders involved. It is not a business if it is desolate. So I've seen mega school estates that have become desolate. People have left, not because it's not beautiful, but because school owners forgot that even though the property belongs to them, every business belongs to those who pay for the service it renders. What makes your school functional is because some people are paying. You understand? So they call the shots. If they are not satisfied, you will be operating under cash stress. How many people here sometimes you see yourself operating under cash stress? There is money on paper, but it's not on ground. There's money on paper, but it's not in a bank. Some people are not paying what they're supposed to pay. They will eventually pay, but why suffer with it? It's because they are not satisfied. You may dispute what I'm saying, but down at the root of your problems, at the root of your cash stress problem, or this defaulting of a thing, is because they are not, or at the root of this unhappiness you see on the face of your parents is dissatisfaction about certain areas of your transaction. Because you see, this is it. They won't bless you with their resources if they are not satisfied. And if they leave, you close shop. May you not close shop. But you see, that's what happens. That's why some schools close shop. You see, the number are dropping. Your number is dropping. Go and find out. Some parents are not. See, they may not be satisfied with the fact that, let me tell you something. Simply put, some people are not just satisfied with the fact that you are no more in, you don't have a direct contact with the school anymore. They love it. They loved it when you were resuming every day. But when you stop to resume, I'm not saying you have to keep resuming in the school every day. I'm saying that even if you withdraw, you should replace yourself with someone who will have the same charisma that you have been bringing to the table before. That's an example. I'm just telling you that dissatisfaction can come from anywhere. It can come from anywhere. It can be anything. It could be because you have asked them to pay to an account and the account is always not going through. It could be because you tell them to go and pay to the bank and bank is charging them extra charges. See, it could be anything. It could be so flimsy. It could be because the food you are giving to their children in the hostel is not good enough. Somehow the children find a way to smuggle the food that you are giving them in the hostel down to their parents at home, and then you begin to wonder, how did you get that? See, it could be anything. It could even be because your bosser talks too harsh when they want to make payment. It could be anything. But how will you know if you don't find out? Let's continue. Now, even where they are owing you, I want to tell you something. Even when parents are owing you, shrug it off. Shrug it off. Treat them, that should be treat them like kings. Your school's image is at stake. Don't say, well, they don't deserve it. Sometimes the fact that a parent is owing you creates an unspoken coldness between you and them. Do you know? When a customer is owing you and then he calls you, before you pick the call, you look like, look at what I don't know what he's calling. When a customer is owing you, and then you now see the phone call early in the morning or maybe in the afternoon, before you pick the call, you're like, why is he even calling me? That is see, you will not even be able to deliver what you're supposed to, because you already have a kind of bitterness against them. Even when a customer is owing you, shrug it off. Don't let it create unspoken coldness between you and them. That's the major cause of dissatisfaction. Because at that point, when there's a coldness, there's a gulf within you already, you will be retreating. You will not do as much as you're supposed to do. If teachers complain about the children of such parents, you will say, well, what's my business? Are they even paying? So you can plan to satisfy someone you don't love. This should be love. Or someone you have a grudge against. I understand how you feel. Yeah, I understand. I understand how it feels, but I'm telling you, just get over it. Not for their sake, but for the sake of your school. Are you getting me? This is getting interesting. This is still the school that's from. So have I answered any question? How do I satisfy my parent? I have said number one. You can only satisfy someone to the extent of the expectation you both have. You can't satisfy a person 100%, but you can satisfy them to the extent of the expectations that you both have as regarding the contract that's between you. That is number one. Number two is that how can you satisfy someone when you don't know their expectations? So unmet expectation is what leads to dissatisfaction. It leads to frustration. Unmet expectation. And then I gave a quick solution. I gave a quick task. I said, when you get to school this week, this is it. I said, when you get to school this week, where is it? I said, quick one here. All right. Ask your parents, do you know that you even need to ask your teachers what their expectations are about this school that have not been met? Hey, well, I'm talking about parents, but what about teachers? You may need to also ask the teachers about the expectations that have not been met. In what ways? I'm talking about parents here. You can invite us to to train your teachers to talk about teachers. In what ways are you disappointed, Mr. Parent? In what ways are you disappointed about me, about our teachers, about the classrooms, about the bus, about the driver, about anything, about anything about this school? They will tell you. They will say you are good, but pick a pen, write it down. It's deeper than you think. So that is all I've been saying all this while. But I'm about to now give you some practical solutions. I've been giving practical solutions. I'm about to give you some practical points. We may not end this class today, but once again, this is the school owners from Nigeria's largest training network of school owners, of teachers, of education stakeholders generally. Don't mind me. It's a long break, so I'm just warming up now. It's been a long break, so don't mind me. From next class, I'm going to catch up very well. I hope I'm not doing badly anyway. So let me show you this offer again before we continue. The last part of the class is usually the best part, so don't miss it. Don't miss it. Just stay right there.
Wow, we now have 5 books in our library. The 4-legged school growth strategy, that's the mother of all books on school growth. You have the indispensable teacher, you have Thrive, and then you have Unlock. But then you also now have the 5th one, fresh strategies for running your school free of debtors. Which one would you want to go for? Why not go for the whole library? Well, you can have it in different packages. The combo pack still remains, but now the combo pack consists of the 4-legged school growth strategy, the indispensable teacher, and fresh strategies for running your school free of debtors. That's a 4-hour online course which you cannot miss. You can also have the super pack. That's another package. The super pack consists of Thrive and Unlock. But why break it down when you can simply get the whole library? I'd like you to order these books right now. We will deliver them to you anywhere you are. Get the books now. SOF Equip is a 5-month program that aims to certify school owners and school growth consultants by transferring all of the years of competence, all of the content that we have dished out on our platform for over a decade to solve specific problems regarding school business. So why should you wait when you can get all that we can teach, all that we have been teaching at once? You can get them. We are ready to transfer competence to you. Why not enroll in this program? 20 modules, that is 20 weeks. It's flexible. The payment is also flexible. SOF Equip is here. We are sharing our audience with you in case you also want to become a school growth consultant and you want to sell your ideas to school owners, to educators, education community all across. So I'd like you to enroll right now today for SOF Equip.
All right, you're welcome back. Let's coast home very quickly. We have a few minutes at the end of the class. You're welcome. If you are just joining the class, let me know where you are watching from. Let me know. Don't leave this class without telling us where you are following from, the name of your organization or school, and your country, your state, your town, and then like, share the video on whichever platform you're watching on. If it's Facebook, like and share and comment. If it's YouTube, subscribe and click the bell button. All right. So let's just coast home. But before I do that again, let me show you one other very good thing. Your teachers are just perhaps assuming you need to train your teachers. We have this training. We have trained thousands. I can't even count. We lost count. You can have the training live in your school. We can come live to your school. It can be a virtual, an interactive online. It can also be recorded. So let's have that. Let's finish the class very quickly. So what am I saying? This is the last point I made. And then I'm going to go to the last slide. Now, this is the last point I made here. I said that even when they are owing you, shrug it off. Treat them like kings. Your school's image is at stake. Don't say, oh, they don't deserve it. The fact that a parent is owing you creates an unspoken coldness between you and them. That's a major cause of dissatisfaction. Even if they are owing you, don't feel bitter. When you feel bitter, you will also be defaulting in service. You understand? I understand how you feel, but I'm telling you, just get over it. Not for their sake, but for your sake, for the sake of your teachers and your business. The last point to make is you ignore their debts. So for once, take your eyes off their debt or their whatever it is, or whatever you are holding against your parents. Parents are wonderful. If you delight them, they will be your blessing and your miracle. Now, next week, because we couldn't complete this class today, next week we're going to be looking at now that they have opened up to you, they've opened up to you on why they are dissatisfied. How do you then proceed to fulfill those wishes when there are no resources to fulfill them? Because many of us say, well, where's the money now? They're not paying. Where's the money? You want me to, they are asking for this, and they're not paying. How do I? So the question is, now that they have opened up to you, now that you know the gaps in their expectation, you know where they are feeling disgruntled and why they are dissatisfied. How do you fulfill those wishes even when there are no resources to fulfill them? Parents ask for this, they ask for ACs, they ask for better teachers, they ask for more professional teachers. But you'll not be able to employ the best because of the money they are paying. So the question is, how do you now fulfill their wishes? How do you stop them from feeling disgruntled or dissatisfied when you don't even have the resources to fulfill all that they are asking? That's a big question, right? That's a big point. That is why you must not miss. You mustn't miss the next class. The next class is going to be wonderful, So we're going to be looking at how exactly are you going to, how will I fulfill what you want me to do when I don't have enough resources? I don't have the resources to fulfill what you are asking me to do. Maybe you're not fulfilling your own part, and then you want me to, because many of us will say, well, it comes down to money. It's not really about money. There are some things. School growth is complex. We've been talking about this. We've been teaching this for over a decade. It's complex. And I'm going to be giving you those tips. But if you really want everything at once, you either get the library of good books. But if you really now want the whole content, then enroll for SOFE Cube. SOFE Cube is the only school I have seen that is trying to certifying school owners and school growth consultants. That's the only program. It's from SOF Academy. It started in 2018, and since then, it's been wonderful. I can show you. If I show you the class, you're going to be surprised with what we have done in the last 1 month. Enroll for SOF Equip. Let me show you this. In case you want to enroll, this is it. Take a look at this. That is SOF has built a knowledge base of thousands of school growth strategies over the years. This wealth of business transforming content is what this program offers. You'll be equipped to build the right target audience for your school growth and for your school growth consulting business. So just take advantage of any of these programs, and then you're going to be glad that you did. Did you enjoy the class today? How exactly do I satisfy my parents? If I ask you what have you learned, you say, well, I've said that I've said in the class that you cannot satisfy them 100%, but you can satisfy them to the extent of the expectation that you both set in the beginning of the agreement. And then now said that unmet expectations is what is the root cause of dissatisfaction. And I now said that parent satisfaction is the biggest recipe, is the biggest strategy for school growth. You have to get it right. And one way to get it right is to ask your parents, in what ways are you disappointed by my service? Or this is the question. Let me go there. So I gave this in this class. I said that parents are not unreasonable. The unmet expectations are the cause of dissatisfaction. I then said that you should ask them what are their expectations about the school that have not been met. And then I gave a very big one that in the next class, they have told you what they want, but how will you fulfill their wishes? How will you be able to do that when there's not even enough resources to fulfill it? All right. I'll leave you with the advert. But once again, this is the School Owners Forum, Nigeria's largest training network of school owners, of teachers, of education stakeholders, of everyone generally. Thank you for making the date. The class is the first of a new series. This is Unlocked with me, David Adeniji. And thank you very much. By the grace of God, we're going to put it back in the next class. Bye for now.
Wow, we now have 5 books in our library. The 4-legged school growth strategy, that's the mother of all books on school growth. You have the indispensable teacher, you have Thrive, and then you have Unlock. But then you also now have the 5th one, fresh strategies for running your school free of debtors. Which one would you want to go for? Why not go for the whole library? Well, you can have it in different packages. The combo pack still remains, but now the combo pack consists of the 4-legged school growth strategy, the indispensable teacher, and fresh strategies for running your school free of debtors. That's a 4-hour online course which you cannot miss. You can also have the super pack. That's another package. The super pack consists of Thrive and Unlock. But why break it down when you can simply get the whole library? I'd like you to order these books right now. We will deliver them to you anywhere you are. Get the books now. SOF Equip is a 5-month program that aims to certify school owners and school growth consultants by transferring all of the years of competence, all of the content that we have dished out on our platform for over a decade to solve specific problems regarding school business. So why should you wait when you can get all that we can teach, all that we have been teaching at once. You can get them. We are ready to transfer competence to you. Why not enroll in this program? 20 modules, that is 20 weeks. It's flexible. The payment is also flexible. SYF Cheap is here. We are sharing our audience with you in case you also want to become a school growth consultant and you want to sell your ideas to school owners, to educators, education community all across. So I'd like you to enroll right now today for SOF EQ.